Right, next investigation. Now, I've just done the one about the House of Lords, right? The reform in the House of Lords, which seems to be the whole concept of Reform Party. Now again, looking at this word reform is to make changes, right? But as you know, it says here in order to improve it, but as you know, changes don't necessarily mean for the better, right? You can have changes for the worse, right? That's just a fact, right? And then I seen this word again, right? In this story here for Good Morning Britain, right? Reform over student loan debt. Now, if you know, put these universities, right? They're basically full of foreigners, right? They're being used, basically they're public utilities, right? They're paid for by British taxpayer, right? They sustain the universities and all that, right? But they're actually being rented out, right? For private profit by councillors and MPs and the chancellors of universities and all this, right? They're making private profit, right? By basically renting these universities out to foreigners, Chinese, Africans, Indians, etc. Right? And basically, when you if you see these universities, and this is going to make it worse even. It's like a dominoes, box of dominoes, odd white spot, the rest is just completely black, right? So that's what they're doing with these. Obviously, when you got like foreign-run councils, right, they're basically making contracts with like these foreign countries, importing that, people using this as another form of like importation, immigration thing, right? Another immigration scam, where they can use these universities to get their own peoples in, right? And again, it goes to adding up to basically this coup d'envoi plan, right? When you study it for about 3 years or whatever, right, and then they just disappear, they just disappear into the system somewhere, probably turn up on a false name, claiming dual money, he just puts them into the country, and it's just crazy. So again, right, they're looking to reform this university thing, right? It's already corrupt as hell, right? And these are talking about making it even more like hard for the white natives, the ethnic natives of Britain, to get into these universities. And as you see there, like that impacts people from lower incomes. So again, it's affecting what used to be the working class native Britons, right? So even less native Britons will be in the universities than what there is now. And from what I can gather, there's barely any in. It's all bloody foreigners, right? You do get a few type of very posh ones in them and all that. They were basically really not on the side of the working class British people at all. They're those type, they're just like idiots for the main part, I see them walking around with like tuxedos on and crap like that, it's pathetic, right? So them people's are not going to be affected, right? But basically, this is about getting in more foreigners and making private profit, right, from universities which are paid for by British tax. So what I'm saying is, British people should not be paying tax for these universities, because they're not helping British peoples at all. They're basically renting them out as a private profiteers racket to foreigners. And it's our tax money, British tax money, pays for the upkeep of these universities. It should, this should be known. It should be known about. It's a racket, like a racket, foreign run. So you go to this University UK thing, right? Straight away you're into this type of diversity idea and all that, which is not exactly going to be a surprise. This one's that one with the communards, used to be in the communards. Durham University in the northeast of England. University of Sussex Chancellor's International EU Scholarships. You study in the UK, it's a racket. Last time I looked, Pakistan wasn't in the EU, The prestigious University of Westminster, right? Scholar Africa, right? This is like literally a racket where they're using public facilities to make private profit for a small group of people, right? So no wonder that they're then trying to even shake it up even more to get less native British people in to these universities, and there's already very few, right, comparatively. So as you see, you want exorbitant fees from native British students, right, and they're offering international scholarships, right, Chancellor's international scholarships all over the place, right. So it's like, what are you getting in return for that, right? They're making profit. They must be getting paid in backhanders, right, as well as like legitimately, right. It's a racket, you know. This has to be ended, like, you know, ended. It's British tax paying for this racket. The other one here, right, is an important step towards funding that is more sustainable, right. There's that sustainable code. When they use this, they're talking about sustaining their own system, their own right. Sustainability, right. Here's the Chancellor of Birmingham University, Sandy Okolua. That sounds African to me, right? Well, looking at the picture, British Nigerian Sandy Okolua, right? So, you know, as you can guess, you know, PG, PG tips, right? Indian students, you know, there you go, you know, this is a racket, right? A total racket. £10,000 scholarship for Indian students and the rest, you know. Claiming £10,000, not much to take in, you know. 250,000, you know. So as you can see, this is a racket, serious racket. So of course, not really surprised to find you know, one of these involved, right? So, you know, this is you know, some serious private profit is being made from public utilities, right? That's what's so bad about it. The British taxpayer pays for them universities, right, under the pretense, and a false pretense, that it helps education in Britain for British peoples, right? Completely false pretense. So you had Lenny Henry, right? And even the one before Billy Moria is Indian or something, right? So I see, you know, these people, it's here, you know, it's like one little network ring of making money in a private capacity using Britain's public amenities. And get an OBE for doing it. Yeah, this is actually the list of the chancellors and vice chancellors of UK universities, what they call it. Bernard Rai Beaver. Sharon J. Leal, obviously, right? Safraz Mansour, obviously. Shamli Chakraborty. Notice how it tied in with the BBC, you know, the Guardian, the BBC, and the royal family, you know, so and Channel 4, you know, so the Baroness and all, you know, crazy. Remember, like Magna Carta, that's a Baroness now, right? So, you know, you can see the con. Most of the vice ones happen to be sort of white, probably just for the appearance sake. And there's one who's on the advisory board of Barack Minority. Adi Apatan, that's again BBC. That's the one who's in the wheelchair. He used to dance on a BBC advert, you know, in a wheelchair. So now a chancellor of a university. So you can see this is a massive con, right? It's got to be worth, you know, millions, right? It's crazy, right? This is supposed to be British people's education, you know, education type idea. And look who's in charge of it, right? Finkelstein. Eng Ahmed El Sabidi, Magdalene Odondur, say Amran Khan, Chobby Street. Absolutely obvious. And the rest really. It cost the taxpayer. With this, additionally, the government receives a benefit of approximately £75,000 for every UK graduate. Of course, they're including bloody foreigners in that. Right? The UK, the UK, man. I mean, just bloody crazy. It's like a money-making machine for a little privateer club, innit? They wanted to put a square on the head. It's bloody crackers. British taxpayer pays for these. So as you see, all the ways they're funded. Public tax plays a significant role. Right? Our tax. For basically enemies of our country. To generate private profit for themselves. And at the same time take our land over. Just incredible life.